The Ratnaguna, Chapter XXX. The Perfection of Vigor, continued. The Bodhisattva who intends to wander about in birth and death for a long time, a yogin devoted to the purification of the Buddha field for the welfare of beings, and who does not produce the least thought of fatigue, he is endowed with the perfection of vigor, and undaunted. If the unwise bodhisattva counts the kotis of eons, and has the notion that it is long until the full attainment of enlightenment, he is bound to suffer. And for a long time he will be suffering while moving on to Dharma. Therefore, he is inferior in the perfection of vigor, and essentially indolent. Beginning with the production of the first thought of the foremost enlightenment, until, in the end, he reaches the unsurpassed bliss, if night and day he would preserve single-mindedly, the wise and learned should be known as one who has put forth vigor. If someone would say, quote, "On condition that you have shattered Mount Sumeru, you will be one who will attain to the foremost enlightenment," close quote. And if he then affects a thought of fatigue or limitation to his efforts, then that bodhisattva is affected by indolence. But when there arises in him the mindful thought, quote, "That is nothing difficult. In a mere moment Sumeru will break up into dust," close quote, then the wise bodhisattva becomes one who puts forth vigor. Before long he will attain the foremost enlightenment of the leaders. If he would exert himself with body, thought, and speech, thinking, quote, "Having matured it, I will work the wheel of the world," close quote, then, established in the notion of a self, he is affected by indolence. He is as far distant from the meditational development of not-self as the sky is from the ground. When one has no notion of either body or thought or a being, standing rid of perception, coursing in the non-dual Dharma, that has been called by him who bestows benefits the perfection of vigor of those who desire the blissful, imperishable, foremost enlightenment. The perfection of patience. When he hears someone else speaking to him harshly and offensively, the wise bodhisattva remains quite at ease and contented. He thinks, quote, "Who speaks? Who hears? How? To whom? By whom?" Close quote. The discerning is then devoted to the foremost perfection of patience. If a bodhisattva devoted to the precious Dharma remains patient, and if someone else would give the trichilocosm filled with precious things to the Buddhas, knowers of the world, and to the Arhats and Pratyeka Buddhas, infinitesimal only will be by comparison the merit from that heap of gifts. The personality of one who is established in patience is completely purified. Exalted by the 32 marks, it becomes boundless. He preaches the best empty Dharma to beings. Dear to the entire world do the patient and discerning become. If someone had taken a basket containing sandalwood powder and, with respect and affection, strewed it over the bodhisattva, and if a second one were to throw live coals over his head, he should produce a mind equal to both of them. Having thus been patient, the wise and learned bodhisattva dedicates that production of thought to the foremost enlightenment. The hero who remains patient in all the worlds surpasses whatever Arhats and Pratyeka Buddhas there may be in the world of beings. Again, one who is patient should produce a thought thus, quote, "In the hells, in the world of animals, and in the Yama world there are many ills. With the sense pleasures as cause, one must experience much that causes displeasure. Better, for the sake of enlightenment, to be patient today. Whip, stick, sword, murder, imprisonment and blows, decapitation and amputation of ears, hands and feet, and of nose, as many ills as there are in the world, all that I will endure." Close quote. When he thinks thus, then the Bodhisattva stands in the perfection of patience.